email. I just want to put on the record that there's a name contained within a Lisa Ball that the state may call during the sexually violent predators investigation. Since it's in their discovery, I don't know if we have to supplement. We will supplement, but we just received the name Friday in their discovery, just putting them on notice at the earliest possible time that that's a potential witness.
Okay. Well, while we're discussing things on the record, Mr. Whitney indicated something about the expert report.
Yes, Judge, I had a discussion yesterday with Mindset out of New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They indicated that the problems they've been having last week is they're having, this was a problem with Ohio State. What they need to do before the preliminary is apparently run a scan to compare scans to. It's a scan that's done on one work mindset, and then they have a baseline that goes from everything. They have to run it on every machine that's used. They have many of them all across the nation. However, they don't have one from Ohio State. They've been in contact with Ohio State over the last week. Ohio State will not give them permission to use the machine that was used when Shawn had his MRI done. They've made efforts to contact Cleveland, the hospital, the big hospital in Cleveland.
Oh, there's University and there's Cleveland Clinic.
Cleveland Clinic. I don't know why they didn't work with Cleveland Clinic. They made arrangements to contact Cleveland Clinic. They already have a scan in their possession from the machine at Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland Clinic said that they would then do Shawn's scan would be another MRI at Shawn, because they can't compare it to the one down Columbus. They indicated that as far as the preliminary part, they could do that within 24 hours if they had the okay. Shawn was going to get a scan in Cleveland. I informed them, I said, they said they could start it yesterday. I said, look, don't start it because I can't tell you that they're going to exchange done. So I'm supposed to let them know today or as soon as possible if that kind of situation would be set up. We said that the scan would be cheaper than what the scan was in University Hospital. But again, I told them until I have permission from the court, I don't want to tell you this.
Mr. Tonelli, you want to respond to that?
I don't know how to respond.
Yeah, I don't either, because quite frankly, I'm not going to grant some authorization to expend funds without something in writing telling me what the parameters for that expenditure involve. You're not getting a blank check.
I can, excuse me, I can get that in writing. I just wanted the court to know up front that that's what it is.
Okay. So we're still at the point in terms of not having any preliminary analysis from Mindset to determine whether what they were suggesting is even a viable process to pursue at this point.
That's correct, Judge. We're worse off than what we were 2 weeks ago. We can handle it.
Well, no, I'd say you're at the same point. You got this data from Ohio State and Dr. Fabian's opinion and analysis of that data and nothing more. It's what you had a week ago.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm talking about I'm talking about the scans and being able to read the MRI because it had to be a complete new MRI done Shawn.
And again, this is a request that's framed in the context that we don't know if it's going to have any impact at all in this matter.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay.
To say nothing of the Daubert standard.
Yeah. Well,
That's correct as well.
if we need to have that hearing first, then... Okay. Give me something in writing. We ready to go then otherwise?
Yes, sir, why not?
Okay. May be seated. It's 9:09 on the courtroom clock, 9:09 a.m. on April 30, 2018. We are starting day 6 of the evidentiary trial in State of Ohio versus Shawn M. Grate, 16 CRI 187. The record should reflect that all 12 jurors and 5 alternates have returned to the courtroom this morning. Mr. Grate is present with counsel as our counsel for the State of Ohio. We had concluded Friday, April 27th testimony with Detective Major on the stand, and it's my understanding Detective Major will continue with her direct examination. So Detective Major, if you'd please come forward this time to take the stand.
Ma'am, you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter to be the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Detective.
Good morning.
All right, when we concluded your testimony on Friday, we had watched a video of the defendant. I believe that occurred on September 15th.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, subsequent to that interview, did you and anyone else go to Lori's apartment?
Yes, sir.
And when did that occur?
September 19th, 2016.
And who'd you go with?
Detective Brian Evans,
And why'd you go there?
to retrieve an identification, a couple items for Lori that she needed.
Okay. And did Lori accompany you?
She did.
And where is Lori's apartment?
It is in the formerly Village Green or the Greens of Ashland, and it is apartment 236I is her apartment.
Okay. And you entered that apartment?
Yes, sir.
And what was your impression of that apartment?
It was, well, right off the bat, I noticed the amount of religious material, paintings that she completed, that she painted, religious-based paintings. I noticed artwork on the walls, and that the place was clean and in order.
And is, I guess, is her apartment consistent with your impression of her after speaking with her?
It was spot on with my impression of her.
And what items did you want to, I guess, see?
I wanted to see from the doorway. I wanted to see the vantage point from the doorway to see if I could see her wallet as had been described, the location had been described to me by Shawn Grate. I wanted to see if, to verify that, and there had been a discussion of a can or a box that had been given to her by Shawn Grate. I wanted to see that but not take it at that time.
And reference the green wallet, can you see it from the doorway?
Yes, you can, from the doorway, directly in against the wall that would be facing. You could see a green wallet on a stand, a shelving stand.
And did you locate this box?
Yes, sir.
And where was it?
It was located under Lori's sofa in the apartment.
And did you collect these items at that time?
I did not.
And why not collect them at that time?
The collection was going to be done by a BCI agent, and at that time we were just going in to retrieve some necessary items, as she was not staying in her apartment that day. She needed those items, so we were just going to retrieve a couple personal effects for her and leave anything crime scene related right where it was.
Did you inspect the green wallet at that time?
I did not.
Did Detective Evans or Lori spill it?
Detective Evans may have, but I did not touch it.
Okay. I guess what was your understanding of what was supposed to be in it?
There had been money in the wallet. We were trying to determine if the money was removed from the wallet. I believe that was checked. I have an understanding as to what was not in the wallet, which is the money, but I don't recall if that's from checking it right then or checking it when the actual search was done of the apartment.
Okay. Were you present for that search at the apartment?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, did you again then continue to interview the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And when did the next interview take place?
September 15th or September 17th, and then on the 21st.
Okay. Reference September 21st.
Yes.
What was your purpose in going and speaking to the defendant on that occasion?
He had sent over multiple kites or messages stating he wanted to meet with me, and I was responding to those kites and those messages.
Okay. And I guess a message from someone in the jail is referred to as a kite. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's referred to as a kite. It can be either electronic or it can be written, and then it goes into a database. If it's electronic, it comes over to the police department, or if it's written, it is hand-delivered.
Okay. We've previously had testimony from Corporal Freelon. Are you familiar with Corporal Freelon?
Yes, I am.
I believe he might be a sergeant now.
Yes.
I show my age there. Would he also text you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, going forward from the 21st forward until the final time you interviewed the defendant, were all of those pursuant to his request?
Every one of those was pursuant to his request.
Okay. And the jail would contact you in some form or shape or form?
Yes, either a text, a phone call, an electronic kite, or a written kite.
All right. Your Honor, at this point, I'm going to show State's Exhibit 297. Corresponding transcript 298, 299, 300. 302, 303, 304, 305, 308, 310, 309, and 311. 306, 307, and 312. Here's your defense counsel. Show you Detective 297, 299, 302, 304, 308, and 310.
Okay.
You can take a second, look at those.
Okay.
Did you recognize those items?
Yes, I do.
And what are those?
State's Exhibit 297, 99, 302, 304, 308, and 310 are discs. These are recordings of my interview with Shawn Grate. These have my first initial, last name, and the date that I listened to these to authenticate these recordings.
And are each of those recordings a true and accurate representation of your conversation with Shawn Grate on September 21st, 2016?
Yes,
And each one of those has been redacted in some way, correct?
these have all been redacted, yes.
Okay, and the remaining audio is still accurate?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, if I may publish these as we go.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge, thank you.
Some of these are extremely short and they vary in length. And then the accompanying transcripts to 297 is 298. If I may pass that out, Your Honor.
Please.
Thank you. With your permission, Your Honor.
Whenever you're ready.
Date is September 21st, 2016. Detective Major Detective Evans at Ashland County Sheriff's Office, Shawn Grate, requested to speak with you. Shawn, you're busy, huh? He said you want to talk to me. This is the first time I knew about that. I've been asked several times. No, I didn't get any information. There was a confusion because they thought you meant the corrections officer, the major. There's a major over here, so they didn't know it was me. So he sent me a text this morning and said he's asked you several times, and I'm like, what? So
That's my fault. I got mixed up with the so I'm guessing the dates right.
all right, do you want to go over to this? Want to go over there?
Okay. And did you then go over to the police department?
Yes, I did.
Published 299, the accompanying transcript states Exhibit 300. All right, now prior to, I guess, discussing anything substantive with the defendant, did you have him fill out what is a commonly referred to as a Miranda form?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to show you what we marked for purposes of identification of State's Exhibit 312. What is that?
State's Exhibit 312 is a copy of the Miranda form that I presented to Shawn Grate on September 21st, 2016. I went through each of these rights. This is the paper that he signed and that was dated by me and timed.
And in fact, we can hear that form. That's the form that we're about to hear being signed at I guess, the beginning of this particular portion of the interview that's contained within State's 299.
Yes, this is the form that I read that he followed along with.
Okay. And, he signed that form?
Yes, he did.
And did he appear to understand it?
Yes, he did.
And did he agree to speak with you?
Yes, he did.
And is State's 312 an accurate representation of that form?
Yes, sir.
And is this form commonly used during the course of the Ashland Police Department business?
Yes.
And is it kept in the record course of business?
Yes, it is.
Taking that. What do you think? I don't know what kind of creamer that is. It was the only one in there, right?
I've been trying not to, like, seriously, I've been doing this, like, I can't hear my mind, and whatever, I have everything covered.
Okay, let me, before you say anything, because you are represented in the Ashland cases, right? So before you say anything, I'm going to do a little form. Okay? This is Prosecutor Christinell's form on the Miranda warnings. You write to remain silent. If you can initial each of these as they go, that means you understand them. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer prior to any questioning and have him present while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford a hire a lawyer, will be appointed to represent you before any questioning. Do you understand your rights? As I explained to you, and having these rights in mind, do you want to talk to me? Okay, and then you sign that.
Just to pause at that point, Detective, there's no audible response from the defendant. Was there a nonverbal response?
Yes.
What was that?
He nodded his head in the affirmative.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see what it is, the 21st of September. Okay. So I understand what they said there, that you asked repeatedly for me, and I told you I would come over.
In the mornings, I have to break.
not one time and they told me that you wanted to talk to me, so this morning I got a text saying he asked for you repeatedly and I'm on my way to work, and I'm like, nobody's said anything. So, so I want to make sure that you know how that went, because I tried to be open and honest with you and not take you around the horn, right?
I just figured you've been busy. Since they shut TV off, I figured that there was really trying to narrow down a lot of things, just trying to make a bunch of it. I don't know.
I don't know the reasoning on that, because last I knew you were seeing the news and you actually said you thought it was good for you. Over, I don't know the exact words.
I don't really just watch the news, though. I mean, I've been watching the Indians game.
Yeah. Okay.
Good to pop the news just a little bit.
Yeah.
In the news, yeah, I hit myself in the mouth, but oh no, it is what it is. You can't change it.
Right.
I mean,
And I think you
regret.
want to regret.
That ain't gonna send me into suicidal thoughts or anything. Sure, I would like to just God, just explode my heart and be done. But it's not time yet. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
Well, when God takes me, he takes me.
So it's his decision, and when you go, not your decision?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you were thinking over these days that you wanted to talk to me, what are some of the things that you wanted to talk about?
I want to get some dates right.
Okay. Now, what do you mean?
I don't remember the dates, but I wrote down on this, I have this a daily reader that was by the Christmas tree, which I asked him,
David Evans or Brian Evans?
he said we first have to fill out this form, but he said he does remember something.
What does this reader look like?
It's a daily Bible reading. It's not a daily bread, but it's a daily reader.
Okay. How big is it?
After you open it up, it's like that size when you open it up.
Okay. And what color is it?
And it's like white trim.
And it's in your room?
Yeah.
And where is it in the bedroom?
It's by the chair in front of the Christmas tree.
Okay.
Christmas tree.
I'm gonna maybe get some pictures of that room and see if we need to point it out a little bit better, but tell me what's in that reader.
I wrote down Elizabeth's date. Last date, Elizabeth died.
Okay.
That'd be the oldest date. And I wrote down Stacy's. That's the first time I was keeping track of how many days I was at the apartment. Every day when I woke up, I'd read it, flip the page. I've gone through that whole book, and some. I've been there over probably 40-some days.
That's how long you've lived in that apartment?
And no one's come and checked it. I mean, they only mow one time, the grass has been dry.
And no one's come to the door or checked on you ever?
Ever. That guy, I mean, that helps. Seeing TV too. That guy interviewed that owns the building. This man never checked inside.
And he said they did?
He said that 1 week they checked all the apartments.
And you know that's not true, because you're in there.
Yeah.
And obviously they would have known in there if they would have checked, right?
And if he's right down here, I go in and out of there. Like, once I wake up from the morning, every day at 10:30, I leave. And especially when I was working at Sable a lot, I'd get up 8 o'clock. I'd go in and out of that apartment like it's mine. I mean, there ain't...
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't worry about it. You know, until Elizabeth
the dates. Did you write any narrative or?
No, I didn't put it. I just wrote the date.
You just wrote the date down?
The Elizabeth. The oldest one would be Elizabeth. And they were Stacy.
Are there other dates on there or just those dates?
Just couldn't tell.
Why did you write those?
So I would know. I'd have reference.
Reference to,
How long the bodies are been in there, kind of to know, because I was kind of paying attention to the odor,
yeah,
smells, and I mean, my clothes were starting to absorb the smell. Laura would recognize him with the smell of my odor,
yeah,
because I would hang out there every day.
okay. So it was to kind of see when they were there to kind of compare it to the decomposition.
To know how, like, I was getting down to have to. I was really thinking about how actually for a week I've been getting ready to catch the place on fire. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
things up. You know what I mean?
When you say building things up, what do you mean? Meaning in your head or physically building things up?
Because of like getting things ready for a fire, like everything was downstairs, a lot of stuff that was burnable.
You were collecting that and putting it in the basement and burned?
Yeah, I was just there getting it for the past week. For Lori, but I think we want the fire.
Okay.
Burn that house down to get rid of that mess and know that, you know, that we're going to find 2 bodies in here. You know,
Okay.
which then Lori came about. You know, it's just, you know, I really fell in love with Lori. Did care about her.
Okay.
Basically, just one thing. I learned everything has to be okay with her.
Yeah,
Can't change anything. I wish I could, but
I know.
I was looking forward to the future. Things will get better. That's how I keep my mind. Things will get better.
With that daily reader, where in that daily reader are the dates?
Just mixed in there.
Or mixed in there?
It's on the page that I woke up to. Or actually, each incident I didn't sleep probably for 72 hours afterwards, but I still kept on it. I wrote down Elizabeth's date, and I just stayed up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the more you get tired, the more you think things through, regret it, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I wrote down the dates. I'm not exactly sure what they are, though. I didn't have to remember them, so I wrote them down.
Good point. Well, keep drinking your coffee. We'll get you another coffee if you want. Is it strong enough? Because I think we got some stronger.
It's not very strong, but it's good. I appreciate it. This is quite nice to.
So you wanted to tell me about the journal?
Yeah, the dates are important, I believe.
Yes, I think they are. Oh,
Oh, there was something else. Not that you see right after she maced me. I pretty much had my eyes closed as I was strangling her. And that's what, you know what I mean? I know I ended up, I got something, a cloth or something, and I just twisted it on her neck. I didn't completely strangle her, because she's getting all sweaty, and it was just, she had makeup on her, me. I mean, I remember I got a cloth. I don't know what it she had the clearance from the door. She had her keys and mace. She had keys and mace was all one thing. I told her she could go. When she left, and it was alcohol. And then, she got her last. You know, me and we're in.
So you're saying she could have left, but decided she needed to do one last thing?
She got mace. Oh, I had it. Once she went off, and then I grabbed it from her. It was just a little bit of, I guess, see what she got me. Yeah, she got her last word in, and then once she realized, like, that didn't work out. She saying she didn't mean to. It's like her nerves, like it's just happened, you know what I mean? It's like, maybe it's just meant to be, I guess, I don't know.
Meant to be meaning you strangling her, or?
Yeah, maybe it's just, because maybe, because it wasn't, nothing spoke about what it was supposed to be meant to be. I was confused in a lot of things. But I know, like, I've done a lot of praying, though, in between a lot of this. To get led to safe places.
Yeah.
Like the house. Like, I'm trying to help you, but
Yeah.
I can. I mean, really busting my brain, trying to make sure that everything's out.
Well,
There is.
there's some work found out in the county and another location. And this is not making sense to me.
Oh, another county.
No, in this county. And because you're straight with me, generally, it seems like at times I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I feel like I know because I'm not a psychotherapist. I don't know. I know that we've talked a lot, and when I look at things, like there's one in particular where there's some clothing and something else in that area, and I was just going to have to ask you if, and again, we've talked 3 times. I understand you told me you'd give it to me later. She told me that. But you're telling me what you thought I could handle in a day. I'm tough. What do you think I am?
I mean, what? Like, I can handle.
Okay.
But everything's pretty much out. I did just remember a break-in
Okay.
that I should probably mention.
Where's that?
Like the Mifflin Flea Market.
Okay.
Break-in there.
Okay. You take care of it.
Just a lot of little things started with tasers.
Oh, I wonder where you got those. Is that the one right in the phone that used to be, what did that used to be? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get in?
Well, I'll do that. Bear down, chisel my way down to the city.
What all did you take up there?
$80. A holder that you maybe have found out in the woods out there with one up the hill.
And the fort off of, about a Mifflin and a first left around the corner. Now your foot's up there.
That blue cooler, they got out, had puffs and ice, all kinds of stuff. I walked that from there all the way up the hill there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and it was just wild too. About 2 o'clock in the morning. You know,
Yeah, here you're in the cooler.
just walking. Yeah.
When was that?
Shoot. That happened probably like 3-4 days after that one house, that one trailer with the older man came in. Because I just was walking
days after that report when the guy reported his break-in. And you took that stuff up to
I believe so.
your folder. Yeah, there's a cooler in there. There's a cooler up there. I didn't go to it, but I know the deputies took a look at it. Is there something you dug up there? Cans? A couple cans? Or tins or something?
Yeah, something
What is that?
over by the rock.
I don't know where. I only know it because I think Lori told me that,
Her and I, we walked there.
yeah, she said you guys took a journey out there.
Yeah, to the journey.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah, that's far. It's a long walk. I don't know how many miles that is, you know, from here to
I
there.
walked it all, I had a lot of time. Probably about 8 times.
Wow.
Back and forth. Like,
So what was in those cans?
boxes, had costume jewelry, nothing really worth anything, not really much.
Opportunist?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely an opportunist. I think it's true. Pretty dangerous. Again, I have to admit it. It's no good. It's all my life.
Since what age?
Probably 8. That guy brought me in.
He is.
Now, Detective, this sounds different. Have you changed locations?
Yes, sir.
At this point in the interview?
Yes.
Why?
We were taking a break, and I walked him out outside to have a smoke break, and we continued talking while we're outside.
And were there other officers outside?
Yes.
You recognize him all this way? Yeah, that's Kurt Dorsey.
People, I remember people. Very good.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's one fully gun on me. Proceedings.
Yeah.
I'm free. Bad Lori, you know. Went good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Could have went no better. I was thinking about keeping her one more day, but it's like, and then at nighttime, before that, got me in my head. Feels good to be lightheaded though.
Okay.
Anyway, just through everything. But I let her, like, one more day. I planned on asking her to forgive me that day. And just kind of let her go. And right when it comes dark. And then that's when I was going to catch the place on fire. And then I was going to go to the Eagles gas station and just go there for a little bit. But I figured that you got to catch with me there through all the stuff that's in the apartment and you and talking and stuff, and that's where you would have found me. I would have just stayed at Eagles gas station until you guys came.
Okay.
Or until like someone see me there and go, like, okay, someone's there. And tell them.
Now, at this point in the interview, did you come back inside?
Yes.
Okay. And who is the defendant discussing at the moment?
He is talking about his son, his teenage son.
I didn't think of it, yeah. I'm gonna write him a letter. All right. Letter, notes.
Someday you can. Someday you can. Right? in his jeans, that this is,
Maybe not, take a killer.
During the course of that particular interview, the defendant discusses a daily reader.
Yes,
At some point, did you return to the house at 363 Covert Court?
yes, I did.
When was that?
I returned on September 22nd, 2016 to the 363 Covert Court residence.
Okay, and did you write a search warrant in order to make entry to that unit again?
I did.
And it was granted?
My search warrant was granted, yes.
Okay, and pursuant to that search warrant, you went inside?
Yes, I did.
Did you find the daily reader?
I did find the daily reader.
So, states 301, the defense counsel. Show you what we've marked for purposes of identification, states exhibit 301.
Okay.
Do you recognize what that is?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
State's Exhibit 301 is a evidence bag that APD uses, Ashland Police Division uses, and this specific evidence bag is the bag that I put the daily reader in, that I located in the 363 Covert Court residence. On this bag is the writing, it's my writing, this is a specific bag, and I wrote down all the particulars regarding when this was taken, where it was taken from. I have to sign this, date it, time it, and write down who the suspect victim were, the item number, what type of case this was, case number, all those particulars are on there.
You wrote it back. All right, you recognize, is that the daily reader in the evidence bag?
This is the daily reader that I recovered from 363 Covert Court on September 22nd, 2016.
And the defendant described putting dates into that daily reader.
Yes, he did.
Are those dates contained there?
They are.
Would you show us what dates are there?
On day 12 of this Love Beyond Measure daily reader is the date of September 9th, 2016. That's the first date that I see in the book.
And is there another day?
There is. On week 5 in the Beyond Belief, there's the date of August 17th, 2016.
And those correspond with what dates?
Elizabeth Griffiths was missing as of August 16th. That's the last anyone heard from her. This date is August 17th, and significant because that's the day that Shawn Grate told me that he killed her. On September 9th, September 8th is the last day that Stacy Stanley Hicks was seen on that night, and based on my interviews of Shawn Grate, September, late on the 8th into the 9th, is when he killed Stacy Stanley Hicks. Both of those dates are in the reader.
And where in the home did you find that particular item of evidence?
I found this daily reader right where Shawn Grate told me I would find it, which is on a table in the living room or bedroom, which is the room he used for both. His living area in the 363 Covert Court residence. It was on a table near a little Christmas tree, right where he said it would be.
I'm going to show you a photograph marked as State's Exhibit 44.
Okay.
We've had prior testimony from Special Agent Ed Staley that's a photograph that was taken as they were processing the scene on September 13, 2016.
Yes, it is.
And that appears to be the area of the bedroom on 363 Covert Court.
That is the area of the bedroom, 363 Covert Court.
And the State's Exhibit 45 show the daily reader that's marked as State's Exhibit 301.
It's State's Exhibit 44 does show the daily reader on the table where Shawn Grate described that it would be. You can see it right there standing up and open.
And if we could publish that,
Any objection?
No, it's fine.
I've got the pointer here. This is moving, circling this area here. Is what you indicated within the exhibit,
Yes, sir, that's what I'm referring to.
and that is the daily reader right there.
That is the daily reader, yes.
Now, that reader was not collected by Special Agent Staley.
That's correct.
But the first, is it fair to say that here on September 21st is the first time you knew of its existence or its significance?
This is the first time that anyone knew of the significance of that daily reader that was on the table, was on September 21st.
And State's Exhibit 301, is it in substantially similar condition now as it appeared the day you collected it on, I believe you said September 22nd?
Yeah, September 22nd, and it is in the same condition as when I secured that as evidence on the 22nd.
Now, the defendant, within the last portion of your interview, we heard, describes this mace incident with Stacy.
Yes.
Does he describe a different scenario on the 21st than he did in what we heard Friday during the interview on the 15th of September?
Yes.
How has it changed?
A variety of ways. He had initially talked about her being near the door, spraying the mace. At this time, he talks about it spraying him just a little bit, and he moves to saying that he couldn't see regarding how much that she sprayed. So there are a variety of differences in what was said. Just during these two interviews, there's a variety of differences.
And when a suspect changes his story, do you have confidence in its truthfulness?
I do. A lack of confidence.
A lack of confidence.
I question the confidence.
Yeah. Now, if memory serves, on the 15th, he he gave a videotape demonstration of strangling both Elizabeth and Stacy. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, he did.
I don't recall seeing anything in there about a white piece of clothing wrapped around Stacy's neck.
There was nothing in the demonstration video about the ligature or being twisted around her neck during the video.
And in fact, based on the totality of the investigation, do you know, was there in fact a ligature around Stacy's neck when she was found?
I do not know that, no.
So the coroner could tell us that.
Yes, sir.
But that's a detail that the defendant left out previous to this particular occasion, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, it also sounds from the conversation that at the time on the 21st, that the defendant is telling you about his fort and dragging the cooler from the Mifflin Flea Market up to his fort in the woods, that the fort had already been located. Is that correct?
That's correct. It had already been located.
And he made reference to it in the earlier interviews we've already heard, correct?
Yes, he had already made reference to the fort and its location.
Did the information regarding what the defendant was telling you about the fort get passed by you to the Ashland County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
And then they went out and found that fort, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so that was information you received from the defendant that you passed along to that agency?
That's the sequence. That's correct.
Now, these interviews on the 21st, are they similar in fashion to interviews on the 13th of September, where there are various breaks in the audio?
Yes.
Your Honor, if we could publish State's Exhibit 302 and distribute the transcript marked 303. With your permission.
Go right ahead. They've already said they don't have any objection to those exhibits.
The more I actually see, like the news and stuff, I mean, it helps me bring out like my feelings, like being in touch with myself, seeing like, especially her son. I mean, honestly,
Who's that?
Stacy's son.
Okay.
You know, it's her sister. I sit down and and it's good. It's good to her. I am an animal, but I hope what I need, honestly, nothing to do with nothing else. I just, sometime, when it's all said and done, I need to be able to ask them to forgive me. So now, there's 17, and I wish if it was not true, I would have some ask just give up my life, can't write whatever consequence. For him to get me the sentence, you know what I mean? Whatever he would want done to me.
Thanks for the son.
And whatever he feels, maybe help me. say so, but like Elizabeth's mom, or any of the loved ones that we can figure out what they're as we just but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I had too much time. Maybe it would be good.
I'll ask what the reasoning is on it. Meaning you touched on your phone.
Yeah.
Is there anything more going to be on there?
That it was meant to be.
Okay.
And upstairs, downstairs. So I have to go there.
All right. How about the chair restraints? There's a chair that has something tied on it. Is there a chair in a closet or something? Tell me about that. That would be just me for when you intended, you were going to keep her there.
Protected. Protected.
So you prepared different areas where you didn't put her.
But that's right, it won't work out. Because I was going to have confession, but not on the door, and
Okay. You want to get her pregnant? When you engaged in sex with her, did you have her inside of her? No.
but I was working some stuff. Looked her in the jaw. Care about her much murder. But I really did. We talked about abortion and stuff. It's pretty sure, you know, she said she would go get an abortion.
So I guess that, right?
She was able to have something to focus on instead of everybody else. But she's in there, it's good dinner.
About conducting. Joseph.
She told me she was stupid so many times. She, I just love a relationship. I love being married and I love but oh no, she would really she wouldn't let me marry Miranda again. Nothing. She didn't believe as being Christians to Christ perfect. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to be perfect. And a little thing, I mean, down the road. Kept telling me something was crazy when I got the books. You know, I took a chance. That's the situations that I've already had. Two bodies.
Yeah. Right.
Just wanted to try to clear her barrier. But now I kind of think, well, she doesn't because of the child. She can resent problem and she'll know how to be a parent. Her Barbie's whole Bible verses. What is she hiding from? She's hiding from something. Well, we've made that amendment. There's a couple instances. The first one, the player with this kid. age. That way you might be able to catch the football, get sticky fingers.
Yeah.
She says, sticky fingers, get you nothing off the hair. I can't remember if I told you, but you talk about sticky fingers.
Yeah.
Sticky like banging on them with her fingers. I mean, she said, well, I can't remember the words, but she,
So you were just saying innocent to the boy, and she heard that as something that was,
well, she joked, she made a joke about what he didn't know what I was talking about. You know, and it was a peach.
yeah.
Something about 50 years. You know what I mean? I don't know. Don't get confused or she worked in a way. But the same thing when you got that night was the way she was hitting it, I couldn't get under it to get it down. But then, so we had a good run. I just couldn't get it up. She looks at me and smiles, like, oh, you couldn't get it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, other times at the table, you know, people would say stuff like that. And she would catch whatever, you know, the work and stuff.
Yeah. So, when I mentioned the restraints, you said you put those on before, after you met Elizabeth, or before Lori. When it comes to Elizabeth, you met her when you were doing that, and she came out, and she was telling her world to you. How did you get it from her? How did you get yours? Was it right there, or another time? On the other time?
Maybe about 2 weeks later, I went to, I told Lori, I was late, going to Lori, she gave me the door.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, Elizabeth hollers at me. We tell her. And she invites me into her apartment, like the top. Nobody started thinking, yes. I stayed here about an hour. And she asked me for her number, hang out 2 times.
Nothing physical happened there? Did you have any physical factor at all?
You know, just she, the attraction to her was, she was wanted to, it was all about God.
In terms of Lori or Elizabeth? Elizabeth talked about that. When you went home from her, I think at some point you said you felt like she was miserable.
That's what she said.
At what point did you think, I'm going to have to help her with that?
She calls me.
And you knew right then? Had you been thinking about it? I could,
That's a surprise. This was a surprise call. She was bored. She now got brought up. She came over and wanted to play some Yahtzee, and we stayed at this other game. It's called the dice game. And the guitar. Upstairs. And she's like, sometimes I wish I was never born. You know, I get up at 10. We all did. She said so much. I mean, I still hear her words. She just said so much.
Yeah.
It was just really confusing. She has a heart, big heart.
Yes. I heard 10 times about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
2 calls this time a week. But it's not just not really and stuff. It was to do with it. So,
Yeah, she's really trying to live a straight and narrow life. I mean, just to see what level she was on, that's when I was. Just joking.
I mean, well, I don't want to shoot you. I don't want you to know I'm going to do this. Be honest. Whether you were thinking about doing it and doing it, or that you did, help me understand. Was it while she's there, or was it sometime after you met her, or was it?
Just before we went upstairs, that I knew that I would so you shouldn't have to wake up.
Okay.
Because she mentioned upstairs a few times.
Or was
Every
it?
day, everybody knows. It's my time. Because she was over before. She left. I walked her back home. She called me.
On that same day she was over before?
Yeah, they're all on one knee. I had some barbecue chicken hot pot. And I asked her, well, that's how I left.
So she was over your house, or you were over her?
Well, I was at her house, and then I told her that we'll go home, eat.
Okay. Over at her house.
She's like, oh, we have the forest, barbecue chicken, hot pot. She's like, sounds good. I'm like, what do you want some? We walked. I showed her where I live.
And she gave you?
We had a couple of sandwiches. Then we walked back home. Then she called me later on in the night.
But she can't sleep. I mean, I think you're able to sleep. And then she came over.
She went here down to YMCA.
Did you meet her, or did she just show up?
I met her.
At the last meeting after that? Did you know her? You know, when you were downstairs. And then me and you, I was sitting here. Because you were going to see what she wanted or what you thought she needed or wanted. Am I wrong, or is that?
Yes.
Well, okay, if I'll make that wrong, because,
I'm sure.
okay, that's a good answer sometimes.
You're right.
Detective, in that interview and a couple of others, the defendant has made mention of marrying Lori.
Yes.
And listening to him, one might get the impression that that was some sort of mutual thing between them.
Listening to
Listening to
that.
him.
Yes.
Now, you interviewed Lori.
Yes, I did.
What was your impression as to marrying this defendant?
That Daniel in the Bible is her husband, and that she has no intention of marrying Shawn Grate.
Okay. Now, the defendant is verbalizing marriage, correct?
Yes, sir?
Is preparing to kidnap somebody by putting restraints on every bed in the house and a chair? Is that consistent with some sort of mutual plan to get married?
That wouldn't be consistent with any plan that I'm aware of.
No, how
before
about
marriage.
forcibly impregnating Lori?
No, that neither.
Your Honor, I've got more interviews, perhaps after morning break.
Sure, now's a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our morning recess for about 10-15 minutes. Again, don't discuss this matter among yourselves with anyone else. Don't let anybody discuss it with you. Don't form any opinions or conclusions. Avoid any media and comply with the court's general order of admonitions. The court will be in recess for 10 minutes. It's 10:32.